So, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ike MMA podcast or the Ike MMA show, whichever one you prefer. And I'm joined in studio by this this phenomenal beast of a man, Mr. Andy Tornado Turland, world Muay Thai champion kickboxer. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yeah, very, very well. Yeah, a bit hungry, but it's to be expected. It's not fight week. It's the week before fight week. So just getting that last bit of weight off now, and as being a fighter, everybody knows what that feels like. So yeah, I'm all good. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy to hear because in the run up to the fight, of course, naturally the fighters will feel very weak and rough because you're restricting calories, but you still got to keep really active and you still got to even do that again, of course, on fight night, go into the cage and really perform in front of a crowd and get that win in the bag.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's the business part of the business part of the camp for sure now. But feeling actually really, really good. To be fair, for the first time in quite a while. I feel strong. I feel the weight is in a perfect position. So yeah, things are really, really good. It's just obviously the last stretch is next week. But yeah, apart from that, everything is good. Training about 2 hours. So yeah, just get that black coffee in just beforehand.
How are you feeling mentally?
I feel honestly like I feel the best I've ever felt in my life. I don't know whether it's because I've had a 6 month layoff. Um, Obviously, I fought in Combat Fight Series last March. Sorry, March just gone. Against Holland, a guy from Mike's gym.
Yes.
I defended my CFS world title, and there was talks of me fighting on K1 Japan. And their July show, I was in talks with K1 and talking to a guy about fighting over there, and I was holding on for that one because obviously it's the pinnacle of what you want to be doing. So I didn't take a fight that I could have had, and by the time I agreed to it, they'd already been matched up. So I lost out, and yeah, I've had a 6 month layoff. But during those 6 months, I have been busy. I've been sparring. I've been doing lots and lots and lots of S&C, which is strength and conditioning. I feel the best I've ever felt. My fitness, my strength, my weight, everything's great. I'm ready, really ready for this Spanish Moroccan guy on next Sunday, Sunday the 9th.
I'm very, very happy to hear that. The fight upcoming on the 9th of September against was Abdo
That's the,
Shahidi.
that's the one. Yeah. Have you seen the banner that's been going on online?
Not
He's a Spanish Moroccan guy, and he likes to talk a little bit. But I believe he's got JP Gallagher. I don't know if you know, for the fans out there, JP Gallagher, Nico Carrillo's coach. Been doing a lot of one championship stuff now, and he's managed by JP Gallagher. So he's obviously going to come to fight. And like I say, I never don't come to fight. So it's going to be a clash of styles. We're going to meet in the middle. It's going to be war. I know that, but I don't see it going past 3 rounds. I don't think. I think I'm far, far more superior than him at the moment. Maybe I might eat my words, but I think I've got this one, to be honest.
I was going to ask how is the fight going. I mean, have you ever crossed paths with this guy, whether it's in public or at another event? Have you ever met him before?
No, because he's actually based in Spain.
Ah, right, I see.
They're flying him over because it's for the IKF World Title. So obviously being a world title, you have to fight people in the world. So they're flying him in from Spain. He's Spanish, but he's from Moroccan descent. So he's been keeping me a bit of banter online. It's all been pretty funny to be honest. It's been pretty funny to be honest. I don't know if you look at my story today. He's been tagging me in all this. Like he's going to punch a punch bag, and he's like pretending he's like no, and I'll tell you for you, Andy, when I get there on the 9th, and blah 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 blah. There's a little bit of banter, but I love that, man. I think it's all part of the fight. Helps sell tickets. Makes it for a good fight for everyone. So I'm really looking
Hmm.
forward to that.
No, no bad blood between you because you look like the person who, if like we could have, let's say, a face off, you could really give a good trash talk.
100%. Yeah, hey, don't worry about that. That's going to be happening. Don't worry about that. I'm a nice guy until it gets to game time. Then it's game over. It's I'm all nice. I'm all jokey. I'm all bantery and all that stuff. But then when it comes to fight, it's kill or be killed, and that's the end of it. I want the best, and I want what's coming to me. I deserve it now. So yeah, we're gonna be friends until, and we'll probably have a beer after. I haven't drank for 9 weeks. I'm dying for a little bit of a drink out. You know, it'd be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. No, I completely get that. Um, first time with me speaking to you, can you just give like a bit of a brief backstory and a bit of a brief history on yourself and how you got involved in combat sports, and then from that progressed to Muay Thai?
Okay, so I've had 54 professional pro fights now. I've had quite a lot. I've had quite a long career. Been quite not lucky with my career. I guess I've earned it. But so I basically started Thai boxing at 19 years old. Excuse me. And the reason why I started it is because I could always box between my friends. I was always like, you know, I could always handle myself quite well. And then I came across this guy who was also one of my very good friends, but he did Thai boxing. And he put his guard up. And I was thinking, blimey, it looked like such a strong guard. And I was like, how on earth can I hit this guy? So me being me, I've just gone off to hit him. He stepped back and he cracked my nose. And I was like, wow, what do you do? And he was like, I do Thai boxing. I was like, I'm coming with you. Because I was fascinated by how easily he did it. It was beautiful. So since then, at 19 years old, I haven't stopped. And it's been, what, 15, 16 years now. So yeah, it's that's that. Then I lived in Thailand for 7 or 8 months. I go to Thailand pretty much most years. I go for at least a month. Last year I did 7 weeks before my first world title against Solomon Lafleur. So yeah, I fought all over the world. I was lucky enough to fight in Barbados twice. I beat the Bayesian champion. I fought another guy from Florida, Miami, over in Barbados. I fought Bulgaria. I've also fought in China as well, which is where I want to start going to now. Well, where I start getting back into now. Where I fought Thailand, obviously about 10, 15 times. France, I fought the French champion, 8 times French champion. He was very, very tough. He beat me, I'm not going to lie. Gave me this big fat nose I've got.
Mm.
And yeah, it's pretty much it. But it's kind of like I was it's a bit of a naughty boy before back in the day. Back in the day, I went to prison when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
Came out, and I've never looked back since. I've just dedicated my life to the sport. I'm now coaching people. I've got fighters underneath me. And next year, I'm hoping to get my own gym. You know, I think it's time now. I've earned my stripes, and it's time for me to have my own gym, my own goals. You know, so to speak. So yes, it's really changed my life. It's really given me something to focus on. And yeah, I love it. It's my passion. So, but what I did do is I did about 25 Thai fights. I fought A class. I fought again in Scotland, Glasgow, Ireland. I fought in Ireland actually on Siam Warriors. Big show. Sanchai headlined it, which was a big thing for me back about 8, 9 years ago. And then I've gone to K1 because I just prefer the style. I prefer the style. It suits me more because I'm an aggressive fighter. I don't know if you've seen any of my clips, but I'm coming all out, no stop. I'm in. Thai boxing, I get elbowed a lot, and I don't like the scoring system. Really, for me, I don't understand it fully. That's just me being honest. I mean, people have different rules for different things and organizations and stuff like that. But K1 for me is get in, get the job done, fight, and yeah, the winner is the winner. So that's more my style. So don't get me wrong, if there was a good opportunity in Thai boxing, I would take it again. And also the clinch. I'm not a clinch fighter. I don't like the clinching. So yeah, that's what K1's. I much prefer K1 now.
Andy, 54 fights. You said 54 wins, you said?
No, not 54 wins. So I'm 35 wins, 18 losses, and 1 draw. So it's been okay.
I think it's better than okay, because what I'm getting at is that why don't people, and more people, especially in the fight scene here in your home base, the UK, why don't people know who you are, know your name? You should be one of the big reigning names on the fight scene. And it's one of the things that does annoy me, that fighters like yourself, the talents like yourself, and even the organizations, the promotions, when they host very entertaining fights and they're very talented fighters, the recognition is rarely ever there. I hate that.
Yes, me too. I mean, you know what? I'm not looking for the UK scene anymore, man. I've been there and I've done it now. I want the big fights. I want, I'm ranked number one in the UK. I beat the rank number one in Solomon the Fleur. I actually went and watched the fight with him before I went to Thailand last year because I knew the fight was happening. It was the CFS world title, my first ever world title, and I knew it was a big hitter. He knocked everyone out in round one or two. And as you know me, I've never been knocked out. I've never been stopped, and I've never been knocked out. I've been stopped. I've been TKO'd. I'm not going to lie. I've been TKO'd. But I thought, you know what? I've got to train my balls off for this. I've got to get over there. I've got to get my head down. I'm going to have 7 weeks of graft and come back and beat him. And luckily, that's where that clip went viral. Did you see that scissor kick where I scissor kicked him in the face? He got
Is it
25 million views.
from CFS 9, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
that's why. And you know what? It was a tough fight, back and forth, the whole fight. And round five, I clipped him with that, got a 10-8 round. And I managed to actually stop him again in the last round. So I got a 10-7 round, which secured me the fight. I then went on to fight Luke Whelan. Big name from Glory. These are the organisations I want now. Is the Glory, the One Championships, the K1 Grand Prix, the Kunlunds. I want the big stuff now. I mean, I've had 54 fights. It's time for me to really get my money and sort of get out of there. So then I fought Luke Whelan, big Glory guy, big strong name in the K1 scene. He's had 70 plus fights. And to be honest, he scared me. He was a tall, big guy, big name in the UK, and a lot of people wrote me off for that fight, as they did with the Solomon fight. And I didn't stop Solomon, but I won a unanimous decision. Again, Luke Whelan, I beat him quite easily, unanimous decision. And then I defended my CFS belt. That was for the ISKA, the Luke Whelan fight. And then I defended my CFS against the guy from Mike's gym. I didn't stop him, but I actually came from behind. I was winning the fight, and he caught me with a massive knee, big knee to the stomach. You'll see it on my Instagram. Caught me with a big knee. Same round, I knocked him out with a flying knee. You can't write this stuff with my fights. It's 1 minute I'm down, next minute I'm knocking him out, the next minute it's all crazy. So that's why I just feel like I deserve now the chance on the big stage. I put my life and soul into this, and that's why I'm writing, tagging to the people every day. It's my time now. So yeah, the next one now is against Abdo Chahidi, a big guy from Spain. So that's another world title. So that's the IKF. So I have the ISKA, which is the creme de la creme. You can't get any bigger than that in K1, which is I've now got it. You can see it here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Get out 1 second. We'll just get it out 1 second. This is my baby. This is my baby. Hang on a second. You're gonna have to bear with me a sec. Right, here we go.
Wow.
The big bit. Can you see that?
Oh yes, clearly.
So let me put that right there.
Nice.
That's the baby. The size of that. That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So that took blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
And I was emotional when I got that, So yeah, there's my baby, and I'm defending it actually in December. I have again Luke Whelan, again, the master of mind games, the master of talking. He talks a good game. Can he back it up this time? I don't think he can, because he was. I'm not going to go into that. That's for another day. But he's talked himself back to a rematch, and I'm fighting him on the CFS versus Hitman at the O2 London, the O2 Indigo London. So yeah, that's the rematch. Feel like it'd be a nice win again for me to defend my belt, and then next year I'm hopefully going to get out in Asia. That's the plan. One championship, Kunlun, KG, K1 Grand Prix. That's my goals next year.
The success you've achieved in the sport, again, credit to you. And of course, you worked extremely hard, lots of blood, sweat, and tears, lots of sacrifice. But the drive and the desire to win, to be successful, do you think you owe that to what or who do you think you owe it to? Is there any particular person in your life that's inspired you to keep driving you onwards, or was it? You say that you did go to prison for in the past. Was it that kind of inspired you to prove so many naysayers and haters wrong, that you were not going to be like a failure?
Kind of. I mean, I guess I owe it to myself as well, being the main thing. I mean, that might sound selfish, but do you know what? About 2 years ago, I had 4 losses in a row, and people are like, "Oh, Andy, he's too old now. He's past it. He's had his glory days," you know. And I was like, "Do you know what? I don't feel like I'm done now. No way. I'm going to keep grafting." And then I don't know. I think it was going to Thailand. It just made me click. And now, since then, I've been on a 4-fight unbeaten streak now, securing 3 world titles, knocking off 2 ranked number ones at 2 different weight categories. And I feel like I am the best in the UK right now. I mean, I am. I'm ranked number 1. I mean, the other guy to talk about, I was sparring him the other day, is David Magia. Credit to David Magia. I fought David Magia 2 years or 3 years ago. I think it's 3 years this November. And he beat me up. It was a unanimous decision, and he is very, very, very good. He's just actually been signed. I can't tell you by who, but he's been signed to a big organisation. So much respect to him. But yeah, I feel like there's no one else in this country right now to give me a challenge. Really, I don't think. And that's not me being big-headed. I just still feel like, you know, I've done the 2 number ones now. You know, give me something proper now. But going back to my success, I feel like, you know, I've just done it for myself, to make myself proud. And I just love the fight. I love fighting. I love. I need something. I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire. Like, I need this drive to have something to work towards. I need that in my life. And you know what? Like, I made my mum and dad proud, because, again, like I said, they've run successful businesses for 30, 40 years. They've always been, you know, proud. They're in pubs. They're in a pub, big, massive family pub for 35 years. And, you know, now I finally got to the stage where my dad's real proud of me. He comes and watches all my fights. And, you know, my mum won't come because she hates all this, like, you know, but my dad comes, he loves it. He shares it all with his friends, and he loves it. He's proud of me. So that makes me happy. That makes me really, really happy. And yeah, just pretty much, you know, my coaches, my trainers, they've always run me through. I've gone through quite a lot of trainers, to be fair. I've been to one gym. I've been there a couple of years. I've gone to another one. I've done bits myself. But yeah, just really my family, man, and just myself. I owe it to myself, because I've worked hard, and I need to now finally get what's owed to me, you know. And I feel like it's coming. I can feel it. I can really, really feel it.
Is it that maybe, or you know, I've kind of think to myself that I've not ever, you know, had to go to be involved on the wrong side of the law, but is it that when you've gone through something like that, it's like, well, I've seen the worst of what the law can throw at you, like you're not really afraid of anything else anymore?
Yeah, it's not really that. I mean, I went for a minor offence. It was a silly, silly thing when I was a
Okay.
young kid. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was a real bad retrobate. It wasn't that. But I ended up going inside, and it was just, I think I did like 92 days or something like that. It wasn't like I was in there for years. It was just a silly little offence that got out of hand, and I ended up just doing a few days, 92. I think it was 92 days. It was about 15 years, or 16 years, or whatever it was. And I just wanted to just keep my mind focused. That was what it was. And this has given me the absolute, it's just my drive. Every single day I'm up. Even though I wake up aching every day, I just still love doing it. It's one that sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I can't be asked to do it today. But you know what? I can't. If I'm world champion, I have to do it.
Yes, yeah.
Like before, I'd always have like maybe a little drink, you know, 4 or 5 weeks before a fight. Now it's always 9, 10 weeks. I don't even do a drink. I don't do anything. I don't go out. I don't party. I don't do anything. And that's sacrifice. And I don't believe I should be world champion if I don't do that. I feel like you've cheated yourself. If I don't do 9 weeks of doing absolute sobriety and eating clean and doing well, I don't think I deserve that world title, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't put a pinpoint on what I owe it to, but it's just me. It's who I am, and it's who I'm always going to be. I love fighting, and I love the sport, and I'm also now coaching people to become. I've actually got my first champion now. I mean, it's only a small time show, which he's now become champion of, but I'm proud. He's been with me for 5 years now, and again, he's quite old to be starting, but he's got his first belt, so I'm happy with that, man. He's stayed with me right from the very beginning. and I've got a lot of juniors coming up now. You know, they're only just starting doing their PTs once a week, but they're enjoying it. They're passionate about it, and I love coaching. So you know, I've got a few years left in this game now, and that's why I want the big money fights. I don't want, you know, somebody who's had 5 fights to say, "Oh, I want to knock you out, Andy Turn, because you're ranked #1." No, you don't deserve it. You know, I've worked my ass off to get where I am. So I think they should have to too before they should start calling me out. So that's that.
You kind of give me something else to think about, though you may say I'm kind of bitching and moaning about something that is kind of like people are now used to. The issue that we're seeing, that YouTubers are kind of muscling their way in onto the boxing scene, and then some of them actually have the audacity, such as the Paul brothers, to say that they are professional boxers, where people can clearly see you're not professional boxers. You haven't, like you said, earned your stripes from the ground upwards. You haven't gone through what we've gone through. So how can you ever compare yourselves to us?
You can't. No, you can't. But what you can do, no, you can't. And I actually watched that Jake Paul documentary the other day. I used to think he was I'm not going to say, I just think he was a wanker.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
I actually watched him, watched the thing. And do you know what? It's so much pressure being him. And he is calling out, like, you know, I mean, look at Tommy Fury, who's been in boxing all his life. Now he's fighting just these money-making people just to get paydays. And why wouldn't you? You know, I'd take one right now if they offered me 10 million quid to fight someone. I'd take it right now. I'd fight them in Peter Pan if they could give me, you know, a few million quid. I wouldn't care who it was. But I get it. They haven't been through what we've been through. But they are starting to go through it. I watched that Jake Paul thing, and I was actually quite surprised to the extent that he actually goes through. He's got to play catch up, I guess, hasn't he? He has to certainly play catch up. You know, I've been doing this 15 years. He's been doing it 4 years, whatever he's been doing. But, you know, he's the money man. He's the money fights. And people that are ex-MMA, you know, looking for those big paydays. So fair play to them. But, yeah, they certainly haven't gone through what we have gone through.
Having them find the sport, it kind of makes a mockery of the sport. That is what we don't really. I mean,
It does.
I don't think any of them would actually venture into mixed martial arts or even kickboxing, because
Oh,
those
no
two
way.
sports are far more brutal and far more severe.
Absolutely not. It's like when you watch Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather when they were boxing. You know, Floyd would never, ever, ever step into Conor McGregor's world. He would never do that. It's beyond. You know, there's no comparison. Conor McGregor would have killed Mayweather in a real fight in a minute maximum. Same like Tyson Fury and that Francis Ngannou, sorry. A real fight, in an MMA fight, Francis would absolutely kill him in about a minute again. There's no comparison. It's just a completely different kettle of fish. Boxing, he would absolutely outscore him easily. But it's making money for each other. It's making money, and it's getting hype back into boxing, which is what I think they needed, because it was a dying sport. And that's what they said in that Jake Paul documentary. It was a dying sport until all these, you know, YouTubers and people are making fun of it and all that stuff. It started getting eyes back on it again, you know. So I think it's done all right, and it's not done all right. It is a bit of a mockery. Like when Anderson Silva is one of my all-time heroes in MMA. You know, he was one of my all-time heroes. He was the best of the best for a long time, and he was just making absolute mockeries of everybody in the MMA world. But then now he's 50 odd, isn't he? I think he is 50 something, whatever he is.
48
and
or
now
so.
Pardon?
He's like 48 or so, but not too far off 50.
Like that. You know what I mean? He's nowhere near in his prime anymore. And he's fighting Jake Paul. Don't get me wrong, he got a couple of £1 million for that. Why wouldn't you do it? You know, but there's no way if Jake Paul went into the MMA world that he would even touch Anderson Silva, even at 48 years old. There's no chance. But that broke my heart a little bit when he beat Anderson Silva. I was like, no, please. But you know, can't take it away from them. It is what it is.
Lose my train of thought now. You have mentioned that you do plan to open a gym in next year. So what, you know, with all the success that you've achieved, there must be other things you want to do as well. I mean, what other future plans do you have in mind?
So every fighter's dream goal is to fight on one championship. Okay. They're doing one Lumpini every week now. You know, every Friday night, one Lumpini Friday night. So I don't know if you know about that. But you know, your Chartreuse the van. I've never actually, I've messaged him so many times, direct messaged him, and showing him my highlight reels and stuff like that. And I just haven't been noticed yet, I don't think. So, hopefully after these next two fights, two big world title fights, they're gonna start looking at me, because there's no reason why they shouldn't. I'm always in absolute wars. I'm always in spectacular highlight reel knockouts. Like I said, that one got 25 million views minimum. I'd like to fight in Japan. That's the place where I'd love to go. And that was another thing. I love seeing countries where I would never necessarily see if I didn't do fighting. So, I mean, I've been to quite a lot of the Caribbean islands, but say like Ireland. I fought in Ireland. I'd never go to Ireland unless I was fighting there. I got paid to go over there, have a scrap. Against Sean Clancy, actually. He's on one championship now. I fought him about 10 years ago, and he beat me up. But I got to see Ireland whenever, they paid me to go there for 4 days or whatever it was. Bulgaria, again, I fought in Bulgaria. I would never go to Bulgaria. Malta, I would never go to Malta. There's just some countries I'd like to tick off over there, but fighting their champions. I don't want to go over there and just fight anybody. I want to go over there for the real fights, take their belts, take what they have to offer, and I want real fights now. K1 Japan, I think it's close, because we were talking about it earlier this year. That for me is a bucket list tick off, 100%. Luke Whelan, again, I keep mentioning Luke Whelan. He fought on K1 Japan, and I beat Luke Whelan, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be on there. He also fought on Glory, so there isn't any reason why I shouldn't be on there. And I'm sure when I beat him again in November, they're going to be knocking at my door. But I just want to go forward, getting the best fights. I'd love to be on one championship, getting those big payday bonuses. You know what they do? There's 50 grand bonuses here, 50 grand there. Look at the talent we've got coming out of the UK now. John Haggerty, Liam Nolan. You've got who else? You got Nathan Benden. Craig Cogley's just been signed from MTVP. Who else you got? Jacob Smith. Amber Kitchen, one of my friends actually. I was with Amber Kitchen in Thailand for a long time. We trained together for quite a long time. I know Amber quite well. So you got some great talent coming out of here. So I'd like to be amongst one. I'd like to be amongst it sometime. And I feel like my time is coming. I can feel something's on the horizon. Whether that must just be me or whether it's just whatever. But I think it's coming.
Would you say that? What do you think is the main issue with the fight scene here in the UK? I mean, I was going to ask you what you think, what you think about the fight scene here in the UK, but would you agree that the fight scene here in the UK, there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of entertaining shows, but the problem is that the media doesn't do their due diligence and actually report on the shows and kind of bring it to the attention of the fight fans out there, and just make it known that you got this really talented fighter. Look, and they fight really well and they're really entertaining. You also got these really good promoters as well. So you do have some talent at home as on your doorstep. Do you think maybe the media aren't reporting on the fighters and the promotions enough as it really could be, or should be rather?
I think it's just being in the right place at the right time. I think I've just got to keep doing what I'm doing, is in beating people out, getting these highlights, and it's only a matter of time before I do get noticed. I mean, I'm talking with the K1 Grand Prix sort of thing now. There's a guy, Paul Hennessy, we're talking, and he just said, Andy, it's just the right timing. I'm like, okay, but when can you let me out? Excuse me, I've got 2 fights at the end of this year. I feel like, again, we've got Leapfrog Combat to Fight TV. You've got Notorious Fight Gear. They're doing all the clips, which actually managed to secure my clips. You know those guys?
Oh, yes.
Solar and Amir Khan. They're doing bits now. They're doing bits, and they're doing really well for us fighters, which we needed. But I think it's just having that right management. I mean, look at Bad Company Gym. They've got 4 or 5 fighters that are fighting on one championship now. It's you've just got to have the right management behind you. And unfortunately for me, I kind of just do my own thing. I manage myself. I'm contracted to Combat Fight Series. I'm not contracted, but I'm pretty much fight all their shows. And they said, if you've got other options, by all means take them. But they give me my fights at the moment. But it's just having that extra connecting dot to the big organizations, because it's all right me tagging them.
Yeah.
but they're going to get hundreds of tags a day. So it's like whether or not mine gets seen or not. But telling you now, you will see me. I'm telling you now, you will see me on the big stage in the next year. I can feel it. I really can.
And last but not least, do you have any well, no, before I no, do you have any shout outs you want to give to any family, friend, supporters or affiliates, coaches?
Yeah, of course. So one, Clean Foods. They're my nutrition company. They supply my food weekly, week in, week out, without any questions, without any hesitation. It gets delivered every Monday. And they've continuously supported me for 18 months, 2 years, I've said now, which is absolutely unreal. Helps me out as a fighter, helps me with my nutrition. It's clean, it's really, really good. So that's really, really great to have on board them. Also, Hercules, obviously, as you know, Ike, I'm getting a bit older now. So this CBD, this is the warm-up oil. So the CBD warm-up oil is slight Thai oil, but it's got CBD in it. So it's good for the muscles. It helps you warm up and things like that. We've also got the muscle bar as well for when you have knocks from sparring and training and things like that. That's very, very good as well. So let's shout those out. Also, my coaches. I have a number of coaches. So you've got number one, you've got Jake Rands. He's a family man. He's got a full-time business as a bricklayer as well. So he's got 5 kids, a wife, and a business, and he still puts his heart out every week. He's up with me 3 or 4 times a week. You've got Uday Zen. He was actually trained by Raman Decker for 7 or 8 years. So he knows his stuff. He's a Dutch Iraqi guy, but he lived in Holland for 10 years, whatever he did. So he's very Dutch style for me, which is great for the K1. You've got Johnny Mayo. He's actually at another gym. And I've actually recently started training with him because he's good for my pads Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. Every morning we train. So thank you very much to those guys. Ollie Jenkins, he's not been present lately because obviously he went to Thailand for sort of 6 to 7 months. And I then formed a new team while he was away. And obviously as I've come back, he's busy with his PTs and things like that. And we just haven't sort of reconnected so much, So I'd like to thank him for the past. Amir Sebastic. I don't know if you know Tate's manager. Andrew Tate. Shouldn't really say that's a swear word, isn't it?
But, no. I probably may have seen
anyway, he took me to China. He's taken me to where else did he take me? France, Malta, loads of different places. Amir has great guy at Storm Gym. Who else? Let me think. And yeah, all the guys at Tornado Training, all the guys that come in sparring. My team's notorious down in Bournemouth for sparring. We've got quite a good level of sparring down at our gym down the South Coast. So all my guys that help me out sparring, all my guys that help me out training. And who else have I got? Let me just think. My girlfriend, Hannah Kelly, big you up girl. And who else? And Combat Fight Series, Rory Crawford, Sean Toomey. Sean Toomey's bringing it down to the South Coast. Rory Crawford obviously does the London ones. And yeah, pretty much that's it.
And you just for the viewers and the listeners, remind us about the upcoming fights at CFS.
So CFS, September number 9 in 10 days. We have me versus Abdul Chahidi. It's going to be a barnstormer. He's coming for that belt. He's coming for that belt just as I am. But I just feel too good right now. I feel too good. Everything's gone perfect. And then we've got Mr. Whelan, Mr. Luke Whelan, who I've already beaten once. And I'm going to hopefully shut his mouth for good this time. There's no questions this time. There wasn't any questions last time. It's just he's talked his way to another fight. And okay, sound, I'll take it. It's no problem. It's one of the biggest shows in the UK. CFS versus Hitman, who's owned by Liam Harrison, Liam Badco.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a great fight, and it's the O2 Indigo. So it's a great fight to end the year, 2 world title fights to end the year, and I think 2 nice wins. So keep an eye out for me next year. That's all I can say.
Andy, thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, if you listened this far, watch this far, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. You can catch it on YouTube and also on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Andy, once again, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Take care.
Cheers.